Now, a video of a man showing off the capabilities of a gun made almost entirely from a 3D printer had many Chinese people both impressed at the rapid pace of today's technology, while at the same time fearing for their safety. Now, according to a Weibo post, the gun was produced from a second-hand 3D printer and was built entirely out of 3D printing, except for a small pin which can be bought from any hardware store. The gun fires .38 caliber bullets and has been dubbed the Liberator. The gun is made out of 16 pieces, and the CAD file for the weapon was made available online so that anyone with a 3D printer can make one for themselves. And now let's take a look at what Weibo users had to say about the technology and the invention.
3D printing a working gun is nothing to be impressed about. When they can 3D print a bullet, now that's something. Surely these 3D printed guns do not function very well. I think they'd probably only work for close-range assassination, close enough that a poisoned dart would be just as effective. I'll let the politicians deal with the legal ramifications of the technology. As a technology enthusiast, I am very excited about the prospect of being able to make my own working handgun. No one knows what else people would come up with in the future. I wonder if arms dealers feel threatened by the technology. I imagine that this would eat into their profits. Also, perhaps instead of shipping weapons to war-torn countries like Syria, the American government can just give their rebels a few dozen printers so they can print their own guns. If they keep developing in this direction, I can say for certain that 3D printing will not become available to consumers in China.
And it was seen that the American government was quite worried. Now, late last week, the State Department censored the CAD file, which have caused alarm among gun control advocates. However, more than 100,000 copies of the plan had already been downloaded before it was taken down by the government. The deputy spokesman for the State Department suggested that the existence of the 3D printing plan for the gun may affect national security, and stated that the U.S. was cognizant of the potentially adverse consequences of indiscriminate arms transfer, therefore strictly regulate export of defense items and technologies protect national interests. And now let's take a look at a few more Weibo comments about United States government's reaction to the new gun printing technology.
I knew they were going to step in and put a stop to it. People shouldn't be allowed to make guns at home. Even though 3D printers make items out of plastic, I think the vast majority of people are worried about whether the technology poses a danger to themselves and their family. I support the American government on their decision. I think we all need to know that it's possible and that it's been done. Let's move on to make something more helpful to humanity instead of more destruction. America needs to stop developing new methods of killing people. They already have enough trouble as it is with gun control. I can't even imagine what would happen if everyone with access to a 3D printer was allowed to make their own guns at home. It would be a country of gun-wielding cowboys.
Recently, Oxford University's Future of Humanity Institute announced that they were going to publish a paper entitled Existential Risk Prevention as a Global Priority. Now, the paper postulates that as we become more technologically advanced, we also push ourselves closer to extinction due to our technology outrunning our ability to use our technology responsibly.